Hey guys, how's it going? 10:09 p.m., July 27th, 2017. And yeah, I finally decided to get going on this. I get my son till 9 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays now, so I don't get home till 9:15. And then just caught up a couple things, and I guess we'll get back to it. I'm changing my headers lately, although this header didn't work as well. And last night I indulged myself into some much needed running of switching, so that kind of inspired me. So let's see what we can get. I noticed my sound is a little bit different. I was watching that video last night a little bit of that 6.5 hour marathon that I did over in Florida. And when I speak, especially with no background sound, when I'm speaking, that fan you're starting to hear is what's making that noise in the background. So I do apologize for that, but I'd rather be comfortable. And unfortunately, it's the fan that's blowing towards me in the room here that I have set up that is making that extra background noise. So till it gets cooler towards fall, it's gonna keep happening on some of these warmer nights. Although it's 23 degrees right now, it's been warm in here for a while. I was able to keep it cool at the beginning of the summer just by keeping the windows closed. Not totally closed, but very little air. And it stayed cool down here because the nights were still cool, but now it's been, 23 overnights. I wouldn't call cool like it is, so we're getting into the middle of summer now. That's not bad. It's all good. So let me just get into the program here. I don't know how far I'm going to go tonight. On one side, it's the end of the week. On the other side, we'll see. We'll see if I can get on a roll here. But, where am I at here? RTS 2. Okay. So, trying to remember, I need to capture both the A and B of each, which I'm not doing right now, skipping as if I'm only doing one. Okay. I think I remember that. Not really, but... Okay. So, if I recall, I was looking at the... Oh, alright, I see what's going on here. So I'm doing junk, inputting one. This is the problem: is eventually you run out of time or something, and then you don't get to, or you run out of energy, and then suddenly it's like, oh, what was I doing again? Oh yeah. I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, I had a thumbs down in the last video, and then blah blah blah. That was okay, but I'm getting a lot of support. Not getting much of anything over on Train Sim. It's like talking to dead. I don't know what. They're not into operations over there, anyways. RTS is where I get most of my support from, so that's good. At least it's in the core. So, dang. Let me just take a look at this and play it and see what happens here. Okay, this'll help because then I should get an idea of what the hell I'm talking about because I'm not 100% sure. Where are we at here? Yeah, I think we're in here. Yeah, I gotta reduce the font in those things. Okay. Now, gotta reduce the font in that. I wonder if I can do that. See if I can do that. Oh, jeez, that's gonna take forever. Okay, let's go from the bottom. One way of doing it. Nope. Trying to do shift home, but that didn't seem to work. Okay. Now that I'm closer to the TV, I can actually see a little bit better, so how about that? That works much better. Can I go even down? Well, yeah, I can go a little bit smaller, That's a little too much. I don't want to strain my eyes. How about 16? Alright, I can go with that. 16 it is. So what I'm doing there is I'm just trying to give myself a little bit more workspace here so that I can see what the hell I'm doing without having everything all over the damn place. And this was just to relax my eyes, basically. So once again, if you're new to this, or you haven't been around, like, what the hell is he doing here? The purpose of this was there was two save files that was created in Run 8 version 2. Yeah. Dang. Here. Go back here. This is the way I wanted to do it. Okay. And I know that first one is gonna... Is it gonna do it? Okay, good. That's what I wanted. Even if that first one doubles up on itself, that's okay. Although it's not really what I want to do. How about I go that way? Otherwise, I'm going to be doing... That's interesting. That's really interesting, actually. I don't want word wrap on. That's the worst thing that can happen. No, definitely do not want word wrap on. If it stays like that, that's okay. Because as long as I know there's a line. I mean, honestly, all I need is that for now. Okay, how about this? So that, yeah, I can keep that open. That, I can bring that up here. Bring these over to here. And then we'll try to figure out what exactly it is doing. Pretty sure I knew, because at one point I did know, I knew last time, but then again, like I said, this is the issue with memory issues in programming. You try to remember. Now, I need to capture both the A and B of each, which I'm not doing right now, skipping as if I'm only doing one. Okay. So in other words, I've got my 3830. Okay, whoa. That might be... Alright. So I brought both of those down by 18. Oh, I see. What does that do? One, what does that do, and why did I do that? Is that what I'm talking about, or did I bring them both down? I don't think that's what I wanted to do. Okay, but anyways, I'll save that and let's see what that does. I didn't do anything. Okay. Bring this over. So I got my junk out of the way. Next X. Oh, I see. Okay. So what's happened is it moved over, but it didn't come back. Now again, I can be using these as loops, but let's see if that gets me a little bit better off. Okay, there we go. We're at the 0. Now we're at where we want to be. Not quite actually. Not quite there yet. Problem is I'm only getting one side, just like my original synopsis was. I don't really need so much junk in the thing. I need to actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 2. Then I will go 1, 2, 1, 2. Right. I don't think I need a junk one here. Get that out of the way. No, it's not. I don't want junk. For that, I need to actually put that into stuff 1 and stuff 2. Okay, then I get a couple junks. 1, 2, 1, 2. Input back to stuff. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. So I was getting at what I was trying to accomplish here, and we're almost at the end of this one loop, which is good. So what this is, for those of you, just to reiterate what I am at, the other video I think was from a few days ago, maybe Monday, Tuesday. What I'm trying to do is, this is the contents of 2 XML files of a survey of cement covered hoppers. They're the smallest cars. What I'm trying to do is get the truck sections. The surveys are here. I'm trying to get it into a computer file. In order for me to do that, I have to test to make sure I'm pulling the proper data in the proper format. So all I care about is these 2 numbers here, those 2 numbers there. Then we're going to go on to the floats. I got to make sure I've got my formula right on those. Reverse direction, I'll deal with that shortly. So far it's I think we're okay. We're down to again 1 2 1 2 junk, and then that's what I want to do right there. I want to do this twice. So basically I'm getting it in there twice. I'm not sure if that's the format I'm going to use, but at least then that brings me to that. Again, I'm going to input, I don't have to do the 1 2 1 2, but it just makes it easier. And so this hopefully will give me what I am looking for in the program. I think that, let me get rid of that comment there. So let's see if that gets me what I want. And indeed it does. That's exactly what I need. So what we've done is we've opened up these particular files. We've pulled in 3835, 3744, 3744, 3744, 0000, 6.975, 3.08, 5.39, whatever. See, it's pulling in the right. All I need to know is if it's a true or a false, and then that's it. So that's awesome. Now, to get it back to where that's awesome. That's step number 1, and that's a big step. And we're at 10:27 p.m. tonight, so that's a good sign. Unit number, I don't care. Destination tag, I don't care. The weight, I don't care. That's the end of the rail vehicle status class, which is fine. So now what I have to do is I have to do a do while loop. Do while loop basically in basic, or just basic, it's you do this loop until a certain condition is met. So I'm going to have to get all of this into the do while loop. So we open it beforehand. We do all that particular formatting to get us to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. In fact, what I will have to do Just checking. I've got to check this particular. It starts with the rail vehicle status list. In order for me to get it, I gotta make sure, number one, that I am oh, okay, I'm at the top right there. So I want to get to the I want to get through this here. Is that 18, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see what number it's on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it skips it 18 times. What I want to do is actually skip it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So now I gotta get it. All right. So I'm putting in another. I'm actually going to indent this a little bit in a minute here. So now I'm going to start at 1 to 8 again inside here, but this is where the loop is going to be part of. The reason why I wanted to put it right there, well, wait a minute, hang on a second here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not true. I want it to go 9. And I may want to put it into stuff 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, right there at the unit loader. So I'm gonna do a 9 to 9. So I have the initial junk of 9, then I want to bring in the next 9 into junk. I could throw it into stuff 1, stuff 2. The other issue that we might run into is somehow if the files are different sizes, you might not get an accurate representation. Especially by the looks of it, I'm going to I can do a do until junk equals. What would I want that as? I guess I would put the unit loader list. I'm trying to picture it where does it happen at the end of the last loop, and if that's the case, then we're fine. Let me just see if I can get this correct. Do until junk dollar equals how about that? If I can take that whole, I think I can take that whole, move it over. Okay, whoops, I don't want to get all the way down to the close. Oh! What the hell did it just do? I didn't hit delete, did I? Can I do an undo? I hope I can. Thank you. What the hell happened there? I don't know what the hell I just did. Can I not tab that? No, it doesn't like that. That just deletes it. Really? Since when does a tab delete stuff? Alright, fine. I'm just trying to make it prettier. The indentions, what that does is, you can see how I do it with the programming. I indent the statements one tab over, and what that does is it just gives more of a structure, because you're in a loop, and there's sometimes a loop within a loop, so you want to see whereabouts you stand, and good programming etiquette is to have things. Wow, that's a lot of tabbing. Okay. So we're in the midst of the loop. And we're not quite out of the loop yet, because the do until, I think it's end do space, well, I'm not gonna, let's just wait and see here. Where does that put me? Okay, so that puts me at the, so that puts me there. Actually, that'll put me the distance traveled in meters again. Or did I? No. Puts me here. Reverse direction. The end of the reverse direction. So in order for me to get back to does that put me into 9 from there? That'd be really sweet if it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it does. Wow. So somewhere in there it will read the junk as it's inputting more junk, and it's going to eventually fall out. At least that's the hope. Do until, and I think it's end do. I always get confused by that command, but let's see. Okay, that looks like a, I think that's right. Let's see how this goes. Syntax error. Oh, we got some goofy thing going on here. I screwed something up. Eprint. I don't know what I did there. Hey. Okay, let's try that again. It doesn't like undo. Alright. What did I do? Do until. Just basic help. Do loops. Oh, okay, there's a do loop. How about do loop? Let's see what that says. Do until expression. Oh, loop. Do until expression. Loop. Okay, I thought it was an undo. Do and an undo, but I guess it's loop. I can do loops. Loop. And that should work now. Let's see what we get. Oh, you bugger. Bad file handle number 1. Uh-oh. Really? What did I screw up? Did I screw up something? Yeah, we'll terminate that. What did I screw up? End of unit loader. Did I have the end of the unit loader in there somewhere? Really? That should be. I don't know why that didn't go. Let me try that again. Okay, I got to the first command. Next X. Oh, why do we got closes in there? Hold on. Why did I do that? I got a bunch of close 1, close 2 in there all of a sudden. Well, let's try that again. Hopefully I didn't screw up my, Oh, there we go. But it's screwed up. Something screwed up. These handles close by just basic. Please add the appropriate close commands. That's because, I don't know. Yeah, something got screwed up, that's why. Okay, well, something got screwed up right there. Because we were doing good, and then everything, it captured the first one okay. I'll show you what I mean. Am I on the first? I should be on the first captures here. I'll go like that. So you can see it's got the first captures no problem. Why is this thing way the hell down here? Okay, that looks better. So now they're side by side at least. So at some point it decides to go for a 170 somewhere, which would probably put it to here. Which means I have to get it another 4 in order to get it down, and I have to do it inside the loop, because if I don't, it's never going to make it to there. That makes sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So in order to do that, I can do a loop of 4, but I'll just be lazy and copy and paste this twice and see what happens. So we got that and that. Now hopefully this gives us the capture we want. Right now we're printing it to the screen. That's enabling me to debug ahead of time before I actually apply it to a file. And now we'll go like that. I'm seeing all kinds of good data now. It did terminate at some point, which was kind of weird. Input past end of file. Oh, that's interesting. It wasn't supposed to do that. But that's good data. Very good data. Very good, very good. Everything's good up to there, and then it doesn't like it. So somewhere in there, do until is supposed to get us out of there. It's supposed to get us out of the unit loader right. So if I bring it down, I'll show you. Let me bring it down to the end of the file here, and we'll debug it. So this is smart in a way because what I'm doing is I'm making sure my logic makes sense. Okay, so yeah, we're right here. That's where we want to be. Somewhere it didn't capture the junk that we wanted. So we did get to here. Actually, we got to here. And then something happened. I think it went for another loop. It could be those extra 4 at the bottom that kind of threw it for a hissy fit. So let me put that there. Oh, we'll see. So I printed that. Or no, I did that. Sorry. That was the last one. That would have brought me to here. And then I inputted 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I got to rail vehicle state class. Actually, the second one would have caused the error in the loop. So the second input is a stuff. So there's one way to get around that. One very easy way to get around that, actually. I can put an original 13. Bring that up. I think I screwed that up. Let me undo that. That's not what I wanted. I don't know where I was at now. Ah, shoot. Okay, so I put 13 there. Not what I wanted to do. No. I want to do 5 here. And then 13 here? Yes. Okay. I think that gives us our 18, right? Yeah. Now, instead of putting these down here, I'm taking these out of the loop now. So that should, if I did it right, help us. Maybe. Dang it. Still not doing it. Yeah, I went past the file again. Cannot trigger that damn thing. Okay, so I got that. I got the trues. So what's going on here? So then okay, so I get the trues. Oh, the funs of programming. This is the stuff I just want to run and have fun. Okay, so I got the trues in there, so that will put me to here, the reverse direction. I'm trying to find that unit loaded list. What I could do instead, since I'm doing, well, it doesn't really matter because now I'm here. I should be into junk. I try the end of file, but I really prefer not to use that. The only other thing I can think of is try I'm going to try putting this one in here without the spaces. Sometimes it just acts a little weird with that, so let me try that. See how that works. No, it's still not, it's not escaping out of the program. Alright. Let me go back to my help there. Okay. So I'm just reading this here. The do and loop cause code to be executed while a certain condition evaluates to true, or until a certain condition evaluates to true. The while and until parts of the expression can be located either in the do statement or the loop statement. The following form is good for cases when you want a loop that always executes once and then only loops back as... Okay. When you want a loop that always executes once and then only loops back as long as a condition is met, it will continue looping back and executing the code as long as the Boolean expression evaluates to true. Alright, so this is where alright, here we go. Print is 0, do. Print a equals 1, loop. I can do a loop while. So I'm just trying to read when it actually gets out of the loop, I guess. Sometimes what happens is it'll continue going until it reaches it. Unfortunately, I didn't see it. It's kind of weird because once I've inputted junk dollar, I don't know if it has to continue for x equals 1 to 13 and then that takes over. It does that until it does the do until. I'm not sure. That could be an issue. Or one's overriding the other one. Possible, but I don't know. I don't think so. I got a funny feeling I just didn't have enough of the spaces in there, maybe, if I'm lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. Well, that seemed like a lot more spaces from before, so maybe that's the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if that works. I have a funny feeling it won't, but I've been surprised before. Nope. Dang it. How far is it going? So, how far is it going then? Wow, it goes a long ways, it seems. And it never okay, let me try the loop until. No, I don't want to do that. The do until. Let me exit that for a second. Take a look at the help file again, unless I got rid of it, which is possible. Been known to do those things. boy, gotta love programming. Well, we'll go back to this here, and I can try EOF. Sometimes. This function is used to determine when reading from a sequential file whether the end of file has been reached. If so, -1 is returned. Otherwise, 0 is returned. Well, that's a tough one. I mean, that's definitely possible, but let me go into. That's not what I want. Let me just check the loop again, or looping. So just basic also provides a do loop structure for a case when you want a loop that always executes once and then only loops back as long as a condition is met. It will continue looping back and execute the code as long as the Boolean expression evaluation is true. Here's okay, for more on do loops, click here. There's another way I might be able to get myself out of that jam. I just thought of that. I don't like this. The thing is, I got to get myself into the position where it doesn't reach the end of the file. So in that essence, then what I'm looking for is what exactly is it going to be at? So the last one is here. So it's there, right? So it's at that reverse direction. What I want to do then Yeah, I don't like that. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait a minute, that's in junk. And I think it's showing camera X. Yeah, it is showing that. So let me go back to the top then. See if I'm reading this right. For the very first command, it does the middle of the stuff 6 in. Okay, well, let's try it without that. I think we already tried that actually, but... And I think it's only in there once. But let's try it again one more time. I don't think it's going to make a difference. No, see it... So as predicted, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, it's going right to this one right here. Let me try that one more time. It does that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. Let me try that one. Just to see. How about I do stuff 1? I'm going to go with stuff 1 here. Just to see if it's in that do until stuff $1. Equals camera XYZ, I think. Let's see this one, see what happens here. Fine. Nope. Dang it. These handles close by just basic. Yeah, I've been trying to add those handles. Unfortunately, they went past the end of file 1. Okay, let me try one other thing. I don't know. EOF, I don't want to do the endo file. So unfortunately, I'm in a bit of a jam here. I'll have to think about this or look it up probably and not waste your time on looking up where the hell I'm at. I'll have to look at the other code, see what I had in the original RTS program, because I'm a little stumped on this one. I had stuff in there. I had there was a lot of different things I had in there. Try one more. That one I'll go with flag list. But honestly, I'm getting to a point now where, well, let's just, okay, that could be. Hold on a second here. It was as simple as that. Oops, wrong one. I may have missed a space bar or a space in here. Or a capital, that's the other problem. Because they are case sensitive, so maybe. And I'll go back to junk again. Let's see. If I'm lucky, if I got lucky, then I found it. All I want to do is get out of the loop before it gets to the end of the file. No, didn't do it. Yeah, that's a bugger. One other thing I was thinking, or I can do a loop until. I'm going to try one more thing. I really want to get the... So we start off with 5 up here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why we do it there. We do. Personally, I would rather do all 18 here. Get us right into this stuff. Okay, so now we're right where we want to be at the start of it. So what's going to happen is, in order to get to it again, it's going to have to go to... It's going to have to bring a bunch of junk to get us to the next one. So that means it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put in 9 to get us to the end of the next loop here. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Okay. All right. 9, 18. Alright, so what happens is I started the initial 18 to get us started. Then I'm going to go with 9. If we're at the bottom, what's going to happen... I got to get through one loop first. That's the whole trick to this thing. So at the bottom, it's going to run on that. It's going to go 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now it's going to go back to your camera XYZ. Instead of the do until, I'm going to put loop until junk dollars equals Jesus, Murphy. Come on. There we go. Oops. Dang it. Alright. So there it is. Loop until. Hopefully... Oh, I never did a close 1, close 2. I don't think that matters, because I end it. But let me put that in there. See how this goes. It's worth a shot anyways. Do or loop cannot both have... Oh, I see. I forgot to take out the do Boolean expression. So we got do. There we go. How about that? Do you like me now? Alright. Come on. Terminate properly. Oh. That looks different. Why did it do that? Uh-oh. That's not good. We're back to screwed up again. Or were we? Yeah, we are. Okay. What happened here? This happened last time, and I don't like how it did it, but it did. We got to the original where we were inputting stuff and doing all kinds of stuff, and then it just kind of went wacky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 should give us, and it does. It just suddenly it doesn't want to give us what we need. And I'm not too sure why that is. So it comes back up to the top of the loop. Should be fine. I shouldn't have closed that, I guess. Yeah, that's a little odd. So it should be giving us the same thing again with, I don't know why it's doing that. That's just bizarre. I try this one more time and doesn't want to loop properly now, which defeats the purpose for the ending. 11:20. This ain't good. Okay, it does the first one right, and then it goes to this one. So why it has a problem there is beyond me. It did the true. So it's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's even got it. It's even showing it. Oh, wait a minute. No, we don't want 9. That's why. We want 10, 11, 12, 13, which will change everything. So I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, so I want 13, which could make it very interesting, but we'll see. If it goes to 13 past that last command, or the last opening we have, hopefully we have 13. Yeah, we got plenty. So we're here. We go 13 more. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're back at that camera XYZ thing. Which is kind of where we were at. I thought we were already there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I do that wrong? Oh, hang on a second. So, one junk. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on a second here. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's not good. Ugh, that's bad actually. I don't like that. There's a reason why I don't like that, because it's actually the last junk it's going to read is that. And I can't have, because that's going to be variable. Can I do left dollar or ah, crap. Oh, this is a wild goose chase. It's not going to come down to here. It's going to be that. That is going to be the junk. Because it's already going to have that. So the 13th junk is going to be that. So now I've got to go back into gotta try, yeah, left dollar. That's what I want. Instead of mid dollar, I want left dollar. I don't think I used that. I've used the others. Loop until, okay, let's try that. See if I get it right. Oh, come on, give me a break. Left dollar. I lost my little help thing here. So, left dollar. Oh my god. Until okay, how about until junk dollar equals left dollar. Hopefully that'll give me, yeah, it'll give me a string. That's good. I think that's okay. No, I wanted Z. That's all I want. Alright, good. So we want 3. Alright, hopefully that does it. I'm running out of patience with this thing. What it's doing is it's taking the first 3 characters, which will give me Z, and that should... You know, nothing else has worked. It's stupid in and stupid out, basically. Dang it! This is frustrating. Am I reading properly now? I am. Okay, loop until. I'm not sure. Or was I up here? Hold on a second here. I did the T. I went 13. That was the next. This was the next command it tried. As far as I know, that should work. Let me just try something here. I'm going to put a print in here. Just to see what that says it is. So I want to know what that's coming up as. So what I'm doing is I'm debugging it even further. I want to know what that that last bunch of junk that comes in for the first three. Hopefully, if it should tell me something. Okay. And according to that, that's exactly what I have. So why is it continuing to... See, there it is, right there, right? So there it is. It does its 13. Okay, let me try this here. Let me try this one more time then. I'm gonna go this way. Left dollar. I'm gonna go this way instead. I don't know if it makes a difference, but if it does, then that could make the difference, if you know what I mean. So I'm printing the left of the junk. Loop until left of equals Z. Let's see if that gets me out of the loop. Come on. Give me a break. Finally. Okay. We got our loop. My God, that's what programming is all about. It's so mundane sometimes. And it's stupid in, stupid out. It's really that particular. And these files are not fun, but once you've done it, you know, now I can take this out. I can take that left thing out and just leave that. And now I'm going to get the raw data. And it will end right there. That's where we want it to end. So here's where it gets interesting. And we got a little bit of time. It's 11:33. I don't mind. I'm that close now. So I'm okay with all this. I'm going to close these now. I don't need them. I've got the data I want. I'm going to save that there. So closing all these up. Closing all these up. I thought I closed all these up. Jeez. Wow. Got a lot of them. Close, close, close. Or, yes, terminate, you idiot. Terminate. Thank you, Mr. Help. You were very kind, as usual. Okay. There we go. Do I have any other? Oh, I have one more. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Alright, so here we go. Now, in order to make use of this data, it's nice that we're printing. We're now going to use the output commands. So, what we want to do, I'm just thinking kind of out loud here. And I'm not too sure if I want to put it to two different files or not. Could. If it works. I'm thinking yes. So what I will do is I'm going to take a look at the output command, and it's in file operations. No, it's not input, it's print. I think it's, wait a minute. Open command. Is it print? See also print. It might be print number. Let's see the open command first. Okay. So what happens here is we're opening two new files. Survey1.csv for output as number 1. Open survey2.csv for output as whoops, I've got the wrong numbers here. Number 4, 3. So now what happens is we go output for, actually I'll put it below the prints. Output, that's just debugging it, so I know what output number 3, the dollar stuff on yeah, comma 6, comma 4. So what I'm doing there is I'm writing that to that file that we've opened up. It's not going CSV just yet. I just want to get it to the file first, and then I'll deal with that shortly after that. So want to do it here again. Now in this case, we want to go with the 1. Okay. So for that one, I want to that. And I think it's there again. Yeah, it's. So the printing is just putting the stuff to the screen so that I can debug everything. That's all that's for. It also makes the program show stuff, which is always good for the person to see that. Usually. It doesn't always be, so it slows it down, but it's definitely... Oh. That's good. That's okay. So that again. Oh, something's wrong. I just realized it. I just realized something was wrong with my output commands. Or at least a lot of them here. Doing 1-1s. But when I started doing that, I started doing it there, everything was fine there, but so you can see for every one I've got now. These are probably going to go as text files for now. Everything else should be fine. Let's see how this works. Didn't like it. Syntax error. Output number 3. Output number 3, comma. Doesn't like that, huh? Sucks. Alright, I thought I could put an argument. I might have to throw that into a variable before I can do that, because that could be let's see here. Was it print number 1? Did I screw it? Oh, I screwed it up. I think I screwed it up. No, it's print number. Actually, yeah, that's why it's. See. I gotta pay attention to the color codes. When it goes to a color, that means it's a variable. When it goes to blue, that means it's a command. When it sees a green like that, it's like, huh? Not gonna vote. And those should be catching my attention, but they're not. It's a really cool feature too. You see, those are all command. Whoops, those are all commands. See, that's a variable. Or it thinks it's a variable because it doesn't know what the hell. So, okay. I'm not too sure about the purple, but it's been doing it, so it does something. Wow. Stuff that I gotta. Now I might not get into all the different things that you can get inside in these files tonight. It's getting late. I'm getting tired, and we've made some pretty good progress here. But I'll show you some examples anyways, and then we'll call it the night. But first of all, let's make sure that that works. I have it as a CSV. It probably shouldn't be, but I'm going to try it anyways. So far, so good. Oh, I didn't close 3 and 4. That's why it gave me that error, which is fine. But you should close the files. That's what that's saying. So what I want to do is I want to close the output files. 3 and 4. Okay. I'll play it one more time. I don't think it'll matter. That's the other thing too, is I don't know if it appends. Okay. Let's see what we do, what we have here. So here's our new files. And I open this up. I'm going to say it's showing it now. Separated by not a fixed width. It's not separated by anything really. It's not a text delimiter either. It's not comma. It's not other. I'm just gonna go okay. Now ideally I would have rather had it go, so this is number 1. There's a lot of formulas you can do it here. See, we were down to 5600. So that's 1. I can make it comma delimited. I could do all kinds of things. I could create records. I could create all kinds of crazy things. But let me just go ahead and hit OK on that and see if it. Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to do that. And that's screwed up. It looks like it's screwed up, huh? See that? Something's wrong there. didn't it? I don't know what that is. That's wrong. Just did it for 2 records. I have no idea why it did that for the first one. Once it gets past it, it's fine, but it does not like that very first one for some reason. Let me just see that for a minute. Survey 1. Or no, it's not survey, it's survey. Should be fine. I'll see end of a float. Oh no. Tell me. Yet for some reason it was able to do it for that. Yeah, well, there could be some debugging to do, but it's only doing it for 1. That's what's really strange about it. This looks fine. Oh, wait a minute. No, I see some issues here. Could be something wrong with the command on the second. Yeah, it looks like it is. I think there's something wrong in the program. So what we can do is, since it appears something's wrong with the second part of that program, take a look. C1, 2, going 1, 2. Yeah, it's doing 6-4, 6-4. 6-1, stuff 1, stuff 2. Where's it coming up with that first error? It's happening in the 5th and 6th. Happening in the 5th and 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be right here. Something here. Oh, there we go. Bingo. See? That's why you do the. That's why you put the print in there. Something didn't look right. I'm like, huh? Anyway. Everything else is okay. So all I have to do now is I can just go ahead and I'll play that program again. You fucker. Get lost. I don't know what you're doing. Terminate that. Yes. What's your problem? What is your problem? Oh, I couldn't open it because something was going on. Terminate. Yes, okay, something's wrong. It doesn't like me. Oh, it doesn't like me having the files open or something. Okay, the survey should be fine. Let me close that up. Close that up. And I should be okay now. Yeah. That's looking clearer. Not seeing any of the goofiness. Okay. So now when I go ahead and recent places, RTS 2, oh, I don't want to do that. No. Why is it trying to? No, I don't want the XML. Sorry, wrong one. Put it there. Go ahead and put it right into Apache. I don't care. There. Very nice. It remembers how to do it. It's smart program there does that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we got some data to look at here. The reason why I wanted it to go into something like this, there's a couple of things that I can take from this. First of all, in order to determine what the true width of a car is, you need to be on a track section that both the A and the B is part of. We know 3835 is the first one. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing the initial spawn. This is the initial spawn. The second is the overlapping spawn, I think. Well, let me think about that one first, because I don't necessarily agree with that. Oh, I see. Okay, yes it is. So what's happened is this one included 3835. This is only showing the beginning of 3744, but this is showing the middle, whereas that's the end. So for example, in this particular one, you can put a command right here that is to simply go A6 minus A5, and you get that, right? Now you can copy a bunch of them just to see what your average is going to be. Now you notice that it changes. See how it goes 4999? You don't have to worry about that. We know it's going to be 8.185. This is data that we can add later on, because now you've successfully surveyed what is the difference between these particular car types, between the A truck and the B truck. See, that one's going, and that has to do with slack, hills, who knows what. See what I mean? It's going to give you a slightly different thing, but really it's all about that first one. The slack action, I think, starts happening a little further down. Sometimes it's bunched together a little bit more. I think it's slack, but anyways. So right away you've found out one piece of valuable data out of all of that, and that is the difference between truck A and truck B for those particular cement hoppers is 8.185. All you have to do now is find a particular block that's long enough, and you can basically determine the block lengths. Or sorry, you can determine all the different widths in between. The other thing you can determine is how much room there is between, how would you say? You've got this one, okay? And I'm going to pretty this up later on anyways. This is just the beginning. I'm going to try to make this as user-friendly. This part here is the tough part. This is the stuff where you got to use your head. And this is why it's not in the program, because there's an analysis going on. I'd have to figure out, okay, when this equals this, then use this, but make sure, you see what I mean? From there, it was just like, okay, you had 5 different figures. We came up with that one. What I was going to say, as you're going through this, the reason why we have the overlap, first of all, let's check a few things. One, you want this to be true and you want these to be 0. If there isn't, then it starts doing some interesting stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm surveying now the survey to make sure that they are all zeros and trues. That determines basically whether or not
the direction changes, or the block is different, or something along those lines. If suddenly there was a -1 in there, or there was a F or false, then we would know that there was an issue. I can do a conditional format. I can plug this into an existing sheet. You know, whatever format we use, and everything's fine. Judging by what I'm seeing so far, it looks really good for a survey, and I think I recalled doing a survey for it before, and it worked out really good. So that's looking great. See any issues so far? I can, like I said, I can put this into a conditional format and make sure that everything is true and 0. But I saw one, but I didn't. That's my eyes. It's getting late, so my eyes are going to be doing all kinds of different things. And I'm not going to go into the whole details right now, but this is how valuable this data is. What used to, the way we used to do it was, well, there's two ways. The first way was to basically go through and type in each one of those numbers. So now that we've got the code, we no longer have to do that, and I have the code now. I have it working, so I can extract the data that I need for the survey, which is this. Look at all this data. I used to have to type in every one of those for every survey. Now I can just go ahead and make two little survey things. Now you might be wondering, if you haven't caught on, why did I do 2? The reason why I did 2 was just in case of a small block, and you'll see that in a little bit later. There are some really small track sections. Almost at the bottom here. This is a very long block. I'm going to assume, for sake of purpose, that if I don't see one, I don't think it's going to happen on a small block, but if I don't see it show up in a minute here, where else the end, there we go. Fine. So that's a lot of data. Okay, so the trues, the zeros are fine. I'm going to assume it's okay for the first survey as well. I don't know why I'm on the second survey, but I am. Doesn't matter. As you can see, the difference there is this one didn't pick up 3835, which is probably just past that signal from what I surveyed the other day. So we know 8.185 is the difference between the fields. Now, I think I have these values probably over on version 1, but I'm doing this for an example. So here's a good example right here. The difference between the a end of, this is what I call, how would you say it? When you're on 3839 and the next section is 3839, you can see 3839 is a bigger track section because it's going all the way up to 26 before it changes over to 40. So for this one, what you're looking at is, you see the bottom section there, it says 9.5 to 14. So that's from the beginning to the start. What that is the length of the coupler difference. In order to get that, what you can do is you can go equals A45 minus A38, and it gets that. So again, there's only going to be so many ones you can find, so that won't work because the next one turns in, that might work actually, sorry. It does, because it goes into 22 is the next one. So there, see how the number is the same. What that value represents, 4.5050001. I don't know if you need the 001, but assuming that could be slack value as well. That is the number of meters in between the B truck of car number 1 and the A truck of car number 2, or what I normally refer to as the length of between underneath the coupler. So what you can do in that case is you can safely divide this by 2, because say for example you're all of a sudden getting into a different car type. It's going to need to know that. So you can do that, like, but normally what I do is I will divide that by 2. So I can take equals B38, divide that by 2, and now you get the length of the remainder up from between. This is the length between the coupler and the end of the section for the car. So now, like, once you're there, you're able to now basically, because the cars are never uneven, they're always even. You're able to ascertain that as long as you're now on that car type and you're on a new car and you're at the coupler, you can then use that value to get to your next A truck. So that's how that works. In these values here, then what you do with those is you're able to ascertain the length of the blocks. I think I have a survey. I figured out how it works. But you can look for some of the biggest blocks, for example. I'm looking at some of these bigger ones. What I'm looking at is numbers like these, like 5597, for example. So let's assume, for example, you've got, and some of this might be way over your heads, I don't know, but I will simplify it. I'll put in various formulas and descriptions as to what everything means. But it's important that you know how to do it. It's important that people know how to do it. Because if they don't, then if I'm not around and if there's a new car or if there's a new something, you need to be able to plug through that data and be able to extract the data that you need, or somebody needs to do it. Not necessarily me, but somebody who knows basically what they're doing. This sounds complicated. It'll be simplified. This is the programming side of things. So let's say, for example, 3839. What you want to do in this case, that's a formula. So what I'll use is I will use 2.252505. I'll copy that. I'll delete that. Yeah, it's fine. I paste it still. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go to one of the bigger ones. Okay. Here's one right here. Okay. So again, I'll just throw this number right. Let's see here. Sorry, just thinking. So again, 2.25 is the end of the A to the B or whatever. Okay. So what that means is, because 2.252505 is, you can now determine whereabouts the actual coupler lies. In some cases, the track will change underneath the car, and in other cases it happens underneath the coupler is what I call it. in this case, this changed inside the, it actually changed inside the car itself. So actually, this is probably a bad example for what I was doing. Let's go with this one here. It's 8.185. 8.185. Okay. So I'm going to copy that. So this one is where it changes. I can use a big one, or I can use, it doesn't matter which one. But let's go find big fish, as I like to call them. So this here changed underneath the coupler. So A and B is right here. So we know that, for example, it's gone on to 6 under. So we know that if we were to add B 1645, okay, if we were able to add that plus 8.185, which was the difference between that, okay, and then because it's on a new one, it's already at number 2, meaning that it's already gone, the length of that distance has already gone into 2, so you want to subtract a 1646. That didn't give me the answer I wanted. What happened there? Okay. Did something wrong. Okay, equals. Do that wrong? Be A. There we go. So the length of block number 5599 is 183.6000006. Is probably 0.6. You could probably get away with 183.6. It might be one other thing before I end it tonight. It's almost 12:15. I'm gonna end it in a few minutes. You can use the same type of formulas to calculate either when a track section changes underneath between A and B, or when the track section changes underneath what I call the coupler. If it changes underneath the coupler, you're not going to use that 8.185. You're actually going to use that 2.25 value instead. And then you apply that, because then what's happening is you're actually determining the length of the block once it's passed. If you know what I mean. Like, say for example, let me I want to find one that's like a standard, but they're sometimes a little harder to find. So let me see if I can find one. Now you can copy this formula too. It's really cool. Okay, so I didn't use that. That's good. So let's say, for example, anytime I see it changing, I can use it for all of them back, and I can, anytime it changes, I can go right there. Nope, that didn't work. I want to put them there. That ain't it. I don't know where the hell. I had it somewhere in here. Oh, okay. I put it at the second last value. That one's not going to work because that's the very last one. That one happened in between. So that probably going to be around 180, I would say, if I was to hazard a guess, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe 180, 181. That one doesn't work too good. There's one right there. You can do that, and then so that one's, see that, see notice how it says 183.6 and then it's got 050118. Once you start getting too much, it's almost as if it's probably gonna round up to 183.6. Remember, there's you're talking about a meter. You really don't have to go more than one decimal place unless there's a definite pattern. There, I'm thinking to myself, that's probably slack action, a hill. I don't know what else it could be, but... See, there's another one. Notice the difference? I'm copying formulas here. All those track sections are equal to the same so far. So that's the pattern you'll see. Now what'll happen is once you've determined and you've surveyed that and you know it's long enough, then what happens is you're able to add that to a file, what we used to call a block file in RTS1. And then, because now you know the size of the blocks, then you know up here, you know the size for that particular car type, you start defining these files. Eventually you'll define the weights, you'll define the heaviest weight, the heaviest tonnage, the lightest tonnage, the difference between truck A and truck B, the difference between B to A is like what I call it, or B to the coupler, or whatever, from truck to coupler to the end. So once you're able to calculate along the line as you're spawning a train, you're able to basically put anything you want. It works for engines, it works for cars, it doesn't matter. You're able to determine that, and that's what RTS has always done. It's just a matter of being able to survey the data. This part here, and I mean this is all test for now. I already have the survey files. I can discard that for now. Doesn't matter. Or I could save it. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to discard it for now because I wanna pretty that up at some point. Anyways, hopefully that makes a lot of sense. But the key here is we've got the program now, at least into the survey module, to automate what wasn't automated before, and that is to pull the data out of surveys. Now, when do you use a survey 1 and a survey 2? The differentials between. Normally you can get away with one survey, but then you get into these trouble spots where the blocks are so small that you never notice a block change. Like, say for example, it goes block number 2002 to 2004. Now sometimes those are natural block numbers, but there is the odd case where all of a sudden your other survey will pick up a 2003 and it's very small. What happened is your one survey picked it up as trucks of blocks that are next to each other, but the other survey missed it. And because those other surveys miss it, it becomes an issue in RTS, because the program is just, again, garbage in, garbage out. If you put the data in that it thinks it's a block and then suddenly it's not really a block because you're missing a whole section, you eventually have a corrupt train and you're never able to spawn it. Eventually we will test that. We'll start out with some small files. We might even hard code a little bit of data first, just to test our surveys, make sure that we can indeed spawn a train in RTS2. We haven't got to that point yet, so this is a good jump forward. It's my weekend now, so I'm glad we've got to this point. But there's your, track sections and all that other stuff. I would rather keep out too much survey analysis into the RTS software itself. I'd rather put the analysis onto a spreadsheet, make the spreadsheet or the Google Sheet readily available, user-friendly, where people can just plug in numbers or even plug in their data. That's what I really want to do, is be able to import these CSV files. They're not quite CSVs yet. I got to put commas in there, so it's comma separated values. That's what that stands for. The comma separated values can then be imported into Google Sheets and other spreadsheet programs, thus allowing you to have an instant analysis. And there'd be calculated fields. It would say, certain formulas would come up if there was a difference between item number 1 and item number 2. So there's a lot of analysis that can take place. I prefer to use the sheets, but then there's always the you want to be able to see the raw data just in case, as a double check, as a last double check, to make sure that there's not any hidden fields, that there's not any hidden issues. Because the worst thing you want is to actually start having spawns and then suddenly, and it doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes what happens, and it happened with us a lot of times, we had this one buggy little thing in Bakersfield. Now there was a program issue that wasn't forecasting blocks for far enough in advance. But what happens is, if you don't have the survey properly, it may not trigger the first time, but let's just say it's 9,000 feet back and you have your 6,000 foot trains. Well, you're not going to run into a problem most of the time. Then suddenly one day, you've got your world saved, you've got an operation ongoing, and then suddenly you run into the issue where your trains are starting to corrupt and you don't know what the hell's going on. And then you come emailing me and saying, John, what's going on? This program's acting weird. Why is it doing it? And I'm like, I don't know. Why is it doing it? So, but that's the thing. A lot of times it'll be as simple as a missed something in a survey that you could have caught. So I'll do my best with the Google Sheets. I'm not worried about the user friendliness just yet. I want to get this thing operational, testable. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it at least usable to me. I'm going to format the next time around. I'm going to format that CSV just a little bit better. Get it into a comma delimited format. It's not quite there just yet. That way it comes across the fields. And that way I can take that data, import it into Sheets. I'll create a sheet up for the survey. We'll be able to better analyze the data without the current format. But that's easy stuff. This was the tough part. The tough part is done as far as the surveys go. Now it's just a matter of playing with data. So, like I said, the tough part for that is over. Easy part's coming up. I'll probably ease on into that sometime on Sunday, I'm thinking right now. Who knows? Maybe I will. I don't know if my son would be interested in that kind of thing or not. We'll see. But we got a lot to do this weekend, so I'm not going to burden him with this stuff. So probably Sunday, as I'm thinking. So tomorrow's Friday. My weekend's pretty much starts. I get him at 7 o'clock. I'm not doing anything tomorrow after work. Who knows what the hell I'm doing, but I only got like about an hour before I see him after work, so 2 hours tops, I should say. So no, I'm not going to be doing any programming until at least Sunday at the very earliest, and who knows what else is going on after that next week. So, anyways, thanks for sticking in there. If you have questions, comments, and by all means, if you don't like the content, let me know. You can thumbs it down. I changed my screen headers so you guys know what's going to be broadcast ahead of time. So if you're not into this and you want to see the graphics or you want to see the routes and stuff like that, hopefully you know ahead of time when this is coming. And I'm usually try to let people know what's happening. I've certainly got some positive feedback by some people who appreciate this. And I don't mind showing the code, I could care less. Somebody steals it, like I said before, I got this on YouTube, I don't care. I would rather the community improve on something or tell me something that I can improve upon, and then, you know, I can take it from there. So, anyways, that's it for tonight. So, have a good weekend, and I'll be back on Sunday probably sometime, and we'll see you then.